If you knew that one sentence spoken with conviction could unlock a fortune in 2 days, would you dare to speak it? You see, the mind is a broadcasting station, constantly sending and receiving vibrations. But most people, yes, most are stuck on the wrong frequency. They beg, they wish, they wait. But those who command, those who declare with certainty, are the ones who bend circumstances to their will. One decision, one declaration, one mental vibration, spoken with absolute belief, can cause wealth to move toward you like iron to a magnet. If you knew that your entire destiny could shift with a single sentence, would you speak it boldly or let it die in your throat with fear? There is power, unimaginable power, in the spoken word, but only when it is backed by a force greater than mere wishful thinking. That force is conviction. When you speak with bold conviction, when your voice rings with certainty and not doubt, the world takes notice. The very fabric of reality begins to bend and adjust to the frequency of your belief. This is not myth, this is law. Most people speak as if they are asking for permission. They tiptoe around their dreams, they whisper their desires, hoping the world might hand them a miracle if they just behave long enough. But that is not how fortunes are made. That is not how lives are changed. The ones who rise, the ones who conquer, are those who command, who speak once and mean it with such intensity that the universe cannot ignore them. You don't ask for your dreams, you claim them. The key is this: speak once, but speak with power, not from a place of neediness, not with trembling lips or shaky tones, but with the voice of someone who has already received. You must speak as a creator, not a beggar. Say it once, and say it as if it has already happened. Because when your words carry the weight of certainty, you ignite forces greater than logic, greater than effort, greater than struggle. You awaken the silent machinery of the universe that only responds to belief. What most people fail to understand is this: doubt cancels out desire. You can't speak about your goals today and contradict them tomorrow with fear, hesitation, or apology. There is no room for maybe in the mind of a champion. You say it once because once is enough, if you believe it deeply enough. That belief must radiate from your words like heat from fire. Your declaration must feel like truth before the world reflects it as fact. And that takes courage, tremendous courage, because speaking with bold conviction in a world that thrives on fear, skepticism, and small thinking is an act of rebellion. But it is that rebellion that separates the successful from the average. You must speak above the noise of doubt, above the chatter of your past failures, above the whispers of your limitations. You must raise your voice until your own subconscious mind hears it and obeys. When you say it once, with fire, with force, with finality, you signal that you are ready. Ready to receive, ready to act, ready to live the life you've seen in your mind for far too long. You don't need to repeat it 1,000 times. You don't need to wait for permission. You need to believe, and then you need to speak. And when you speak, speak like it's already done. Because when you do, faith is not something you hope to have someday. It is not a feeling that shows up when things look good. Real faith, unshakable, immovable faith, is a weapon. It is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the one thing that can move mountains, bend reality, and turn impossible dreams into visible results. Without it, even the best ideas, the most brilliant plans will collapse. With it, you can build an empire out of nothing but thought. The mistake most people make is waiting for proof before they believe. They want to see the money before they act rich. They want to see success before they speak with confidence. But the law does not work that way. You don't get faith after the fact. You must act with it before there's a single sign of progress. You must hold the image of your goal in your mind with such clarity and certainty that it becomes more real to you than the circumstances around you. The world responds to what you believe is true, not what you hope will happen. Every time you allow fear to lead your decisions, you sabotage your future. Every time you let hesitation talk you out of action, you delay your destiny. You must eliminate all forms of doubt like poison, because that's exactly what it is. Doubt is the silent killer of dreams. It whispers lies into your mind, lies that tell you to play small, to wait, to be realistic. But those who achieve great things never wait for confidence to arrive. They decide to believe. They make faith a choice, not a feeling. Faith is action in the absence of evidence. It is speaking success when you're surrounded by failure. It is investing in your dream when you have no guarantee. It is showing up day after day with intensity, even when there's no applause, no support, no sign that what you're doing is working. That kind of faith moves the invisible into the visible. That kind of faith causes resources, people, and opportunities to come rushing toward you like iron to a magnet. The mind is the master. What you believe becomes your command, and that command echoes through everything you do, how you walk, how you speak, how you think. If there's even a trace of doubt, the world can feel it. But when you act with unshakable faith, doors open, ideas flow, circumstances bend. That's not magic, that's alignment. That's the result of a mind that has decidedly. And finally, that success is not just possible, but inevitable. So you must stand in your power. You must speak with certainty. You must act with relentless belief, even when nothing around you supports it. Because the moment you do, you begin to shift your frequency, and when your frequency changes, everything changes. There is no greater force than the one inside you that dares to believe without question. Let that force lead, let it dominate, let it speak louder than fear. You will never receive the riches you seek until you first become the person who already owns them. In your mind, in your emotions, in your very identity. The world does not hand over its treasures to the person who wants success. It delivers to the one who expects it. And that expectation must begin before there is a single shred of evidence. You must see the result long before it ever shows up in your bank account, your business, or your hands. You must live in the end result with such clarity, such intensity, that the world is forced to catch up to your vision. Do not make the mistake of thinking your outer reality shapes your future. It is your inner world, your thoughts, your emotions, your self-behavior, that sets the entire process in motion. If you continue to identify with lack, with limitation, with struggle, then no amount of hard work will set you free. You must change the root if you want to change the fruit. You must become wealth in your mind. You must become freedom in your spirit. You must become the outcome you desire right now, not someday. Too many people wait. They wait for circumstances to improve. They wait for opportunities to knock. They wait to feel ready. But you cannot wait for success. You must become success. You must walk like it, speak like it, think like it. Not once, not occasionally. Every day, every moment. Because the subconscious mind does not respond to wishful thinking. It responds to repetition, to certainty, to emotional intensity. When you feel as if it's already yours, your entire nervous system begins to operate from a new frequency. That's when you stop chasing results, and results start chasing you. You don't become successful after you achieve something. You achieve because you decided to embody success before it ever showed up. That decision must be absolute. You must look at your current life, your bills, your bank account, your failures, and refuse to be defined by them. That takes courage. That takes discipline. But it also takes imagination, the kind of imagination that dares to live inside the vision of a future so real, it pulls you into action with unstoppable momentum. This is not pretending. This is not fantasy. This is creation. You are not escaping reality. You are building it. And you build it from the inside out. You cannot think like a beggar and live like a king. You cannot worry like the poor and expect to receive the abundance of the wealthy. The transformation begins the moment you make a decision to identify with the result. You must feel what it's like to already have it, to already be it. And when you feel it deeply enough, your thoughts align, your actions align, and your entire world begins to take shape according to that inner image. Hold the vision, speak from it, move from it. Refuse to speak, act, or think in contradiction to it. When you live in the result fully, the result will have no choice but to show up. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not against the economy, not against competition, not against other people. It is against your own reaction to circumstances. The world will test you. Life will throw challenges at your feet. But hear this and hear it well. It is not what happens to you that determines your destiny. It is how you respond. Those who master their response, who refuse to let external conditions shake their inner vision, are the ones who rise. They bend reality to their will because they do not allow reality to bend them. You must become untouchable in your mind. You must build a fortress so strong, so unbreakable, that no setback, no delay, no disappointment can break your focus. Because here's the truth. Everyone faces adversity. Everyone gets knocked down. But the difference between those who rise and those who stay down is resilience. It is the decision to hold the image of what you desire no matter how bad things look. When the bank account is low, when the opportunities dry up, when the voices around you scream, "Give up," that is when you must be deaf to the noise and loyal to the vision. The world responds to the man or woman who cannot be moved, not by failure, not by rejection, not by so-called facts. Facts are temporary. Faith is eternal. The one who walks in faith may look delusional to others, but that same person will soon be envied because the world always catches up to the one who refuses to bow to circumstances. There's power in persistence. There's power in refusing to be swayed. You cannot allow your current situation to dictate your future. If you do, you have surrendered your power. You have handed over your destiny to outside forces. And the moment you do that, you become a slave to chance. But when you say, "I don't care what it looks like, I know what's coming," you shift the balance. You take control. You become the master. That kind of mental toughness does not come from comfort. It comes from repeated acts of courage. Every time you choose faith over fear, belief over doubt, vision over circumstances, you strengthen your inner core. You become unstoppable. You must learn to walk through fire and keep moving forward. You must learn to smile in the face of delay and declare, "I'm still on track." You must stand tall in the middle of storms and say, "This too shall serve me," because it will. If you hold the line, if you keep your mind locked on the target, every obstacle will turn into a stepping stone. Every problem will teach you something vital, but only if you stay the course. Do not look outside for strength. It is already inside you. You were born to rise above the noise. You were born to carry a vision so clearly that no adversity can cloud it. Decide right now, nothing outside of me controls me. I control me. And because I do, I control my outcome. The universe does not respond to begging. It does not bend to the cries of the desperate, the whispers of the timid, or the pleas of the unsure. It responds to command. It answers to those who speak with power, who declare with authority, who know what they want and refuse to speak any word that contradicts it. You were not meant to crawl through life hoping for scraps. You were designed to command life, to rise, to lead, to claim your desires as if they are already yours. Most people speak their dreams like a question. "I hope this happens," or "maybe it will work out." That kind of language carries no force, no fire. It signals weakness to the subconscious mind, and weakness never builds wealth. The language of power is certain. It is final. It does not beg. It declares, "This is mine. It is done." That is the tone that moves mountains. That is the voice that opens doors. That is the mental posture that pulls success into your orbit. If you speak like a victim, the world will treat you like one. If you speak like a ruler, life will bow. The only difference between the one who gets what they want and the one who doesn't is this: one commands and the other hopes. Your words are not casual. They are creative. They carry weight. Every time you speak, you are issuing instructions to your mind, to your energy, to the invisible forces that shape your reality. And the instruction must be clear, firm, and absolute. One statement, spoken with true authority, can shift everything. But it must come from the deepest part of you, the part that knows, not the part that wishes, not the part that's afraid. the part that is certain. When you command, you do not ask if it's possible. You decide that it is already done, and you back that decision with thoughts, emotions, and actions that match it. That's when power begins to flow. That's when events begin to align. That's when wealth begins to move toward you like a river breaking through a dam. You were never meant to chase opportunity. You were meant to attract it. You do that by aligning your voice with your vision and speaking it into the world like a decree. You say it once, and you say it with finality, not to convince anyone else, but to send a signal to your subconscious mind and to every unseen force that you are no longer waiting. You have decided, you have commanded, and now it must be delivered. Stop using your words to describe your life. Start using them to build it. Every time you open your mouth, you are either creating power or surrendering it. Choose power. Choose to speak like the master you were born to be. Choose to speak as if the world answers to your voice. Because when you truly believe it does, it will conform. It is the enemy of greatness. It lulls the mind into safety, into hesitation, into small thinking. But courage, that blazing fire within the soul, is the force that shakes the earth and pulls results out of thin air. It is courage that causes a man to stand and speak when the world expects him to stay silent. It is courage that declares a thing to be true before there is proof, before there is applause, before there is approval. Without courage, power remains locked inside. But with courage, even one word spoken in truth can ignite a transformation so explosive that the world has no choice but to respond. To say it once with power, you must kill the fear that whispers, "What if it doesn't work?" You must silence the voice that says, "Be careful, don't speak too soon." You must obliterate every excuse, every hesitation, every inch of doubt that tries to make you play small. Because the truth is, you will never speak with true power while living in the prison of fear. Power and fear cannot occupy the same space. You must choose. You must decide. You must rise up and command with unwavering confidence, even when your hands shake and the ground beneath you feels uncertain. Greatness is not born in safety. It is forged in the fire of risk. It is built by those who dare to declare their vision, even when the room is silent, even when the odds are stacked against them. It is built by those who speak the result as if it already exists, even when the evidence says otherwise. That takes audacity. That takes strength. That takes a boldness most will never touch, because they are too busy protecting their comfort zone. But comfort never made anyone rich. Comfort never sparked revolutions. Comfort never gave birth to empires. It is only when you step out, when you speak up with the full force of your conviction, that the tide begins to turn. You do not need permission to be powerful. You do not need validation to speak with fire. All you need is the decision to trust yourself more than your fear. When you dare to speak at once with power, you draw a line in the sand. You send a signal not only to the world, but to your own subconscious that the old you is gone. The hesitant, fearful, doubting version of you no longer exists. What remains is a creator, a commander, a force to be reckoned with. And that identity is built not by endless repetition, not by desperate effort, but by one moment of pure, fearless expression. So rise above your comfort. Step into the unknown with boldness. Say it once and say it like you mean it. That single act of courage has the power to collapse time, to condense results, to create miracles. Because the universe does not respond to hesitation. It moves for the one who dares to speak with absolute certainty and acts like it's already done. Success is not a waiting game. It is a doing game. It is not reserved for those who can wait until the perfect moment or for those who think they'll have time tomorrow. No, success belongs to the ones who act now, who seize the present moment with all the intensity, all the energy, and all the conviction they have. Those who wait for the right time to take action are the ones who never see their dreams come to fruition. The time is never right. The time is always now. And the longer you wait, the longer you delay the results that are already yours for the taking. The truth is, every moment you hesitate, you lose. Every second you spend thinking about what you should do instead of acting, you fall further behind. While you sit, the world moves, the universe aligns, opportunities emerge. And they pass you by because you refuse to step forward when it mattered most. It's not about waiting until you feel ready. It's about making the decision to act and trusting that the readiness will follow the action. The ones who achieve are those who decide that now is always the time. Think about it. Successful people are not any smarter, not any luckier, not any more gifted than you. What they have is an understanding of this simple truth. Action creates momentum. When you take one step, that leads to another, then another, and soon you find yourself on a path you didn't even realize you were building. The more you delay, the harder it becomes to start. But the moment you commit, the moment you throw yourself into the game with full force, you unlock a flow of energy, of creativity, and of results that are otherwise locked away in your potential. You must learn to trust the power of the moment. You must embrace the fact that success is created through action, not contemplation. There will always be excuses. There will always be fear. There will always be something that tells you, wait, not yet. But that is the voice of doubt, of comfort, of fear. That voice will never lead you to greatness. It will keep you small. And the more you listen to it, the smaller you will become. But the moment you act, you take control. The moment you step into the unknown, you expand, grow, and you begin to shape your future, one action at a time. You will never have the luxury of waiting for all the pieces to fall into place. That is an illusion. Success is built on the shoulders of decision, of execution, of relentless movement forward. You don't wait for everything to be perfect. You act, and perfection follows through your commitment. The world does not reward hesitation. It rewards those who decide to move in the face of uncertainty. Every great achievement, every fortune, every legacy was born from someone deciding to act immediately, to take bold steps before the path was clear, before everything was lined up. If you want to achieve, you must stop waiting for a perfect moment and create it now. Take the first step and take it now. The moment you do, you unleash the power of momentum. You will learn faster, adapt quicker, and grow stronger. But you must start, you must act, and you must do it now. Now understand this. You are the architect of your own destiny, the creator of your own future. The only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is the decision to act. You must speak with power, think with certainty, and walk with unwavering belief, even when the road is unclear. The universe responds to those who take action, who move with purpose, who refuse to wait for tomorrow. It's time to stop hesitating. The moment is now. Your success, your vision, your dream, they're all waiting for you to claim them. You have the power within you right now to make that decision and take that first step. The world will meet you halfway, but only if you move first. Say it once, say it with power, and act without delay. Your future is created by the actions you take today, and today you will take bold, decisive action. It's time to rise. It's time to act. It's time to claim the life you were always meant to live. The world is waiting for your command. Now, go make it happen.